Hey everyone, it's the beginning of June, so that means it's time for the June garden tour. So let's go take a look and see what's changed over the last month. So let's start off in this center raised bed here. So this is the largest of my raised beds, and there are only flowers growing in this bed. My plan is to have, one, it look beautiful, but two, have flowers that I can cut and use in arrangements in the house. So in the corners here, I have Supertunia bubblegum. These are going to start trailing down the sides here pretty soon. I have some super bells, and then in the center of the bed I have different zinnia colors that I got in a mixed pack. At the very back I have some extra delphiniums that I just threw in the bed, and then a mystery seed that I sowed some of and then threw the packet away. So hopefully I'll find out what those are soon. In front of this bed I have some pots filled with flowers. This is the view I see from inside the house, so I want it to be the prettiest view in the garden. I have a hydrangea plant, two geraniums here, and then the gray pots on the end look pretty empty right now, but I have two petunias and what's going to be a delphinium, but those are still pretty small right now. I started them from seed inside. These delphiniums are meant specifically to be grown in containers, so they are going to be smaller than the typical variety that you'll see. Swinging around over here, this is my herb rack. So I have 8 different herbs growing right now. I'm sure I'll get some more soon, but the two that I'm most excited about, first is the chocolate mint. I've had this a few times in my coffee. I've been looking up recipes, so I'm really excited to use this. And then the tricolor sage, which I actually don't really know how to use sage, but I thought this plant was really pretty. So basically I've got to figure out what exactly I'm going to do with this sage. I have 2 more geraniums just on either end of the rack. Over here is my little seating area. This is the spot on the deck that gets the most shade. I have some daisies in a pot on the table, and then my lavender plant that I got from a local growing center here. Swinging over here, in front of the raised bed are my berry bushes. I have a raspberry on the far right, a blueberry, both of those are about a year old. I have a strawberry plant I just got this year, a random pot of marigolds, and then this is my blueberry plant that I got last year, but I think it was already about 4 to 5 years old when I got it, so that's why it's so much larger than the other bushes. And then behind it in the white pot is a hydrangea that I'm not sure if it's dead or not, so I'm giving it some time before I'm actually going to remove it. The second raised bed, this is also going to be all flowers. I started everything in this bed from seed except for the petunias up front, so they're still pretty small overall, but we're getting some consistently warmer days coming up, so I'm hoping that these take off pretty soon. Gomphrena is what's up front here. The mystery seeds from the other bed are there, and then I have a few more delphiniums in the back. Coming over here to my largest grow bag. So these are 30-gallon sizes. I have 2 tomato plants on either end, a pepper plant in the middle, and I'm also growing some marigolds in this bag, and then this tomato plant is actually surrounded by onions. In front of the larger grow bags, I have 2 bags filled with okra, and we actually got some pretty cold temperatures for May at the end of the month. I think it was the coldest day in 50 years for the end of May, and the okra seems to be the plant that was impacted the most. This one at least has 2 fairly healthy looking leaves. This one doesn't look great. I had some smaller seedlings in here that also seem a little bit damaged, but I'm going to give them some time, see how they do before I call it a loss. This is my zucchini plant I have in this grow bag. Over on this side, I have onions on the left, garlic on the right, and then I'm growing rhubarb in this brown pot here, and then that same brown pot in the back. Swinging around here, this is my cucumber plant. I'm trying to get it to grow up this trellis. It's my first year doing it this vertical, but it does help to save a lot of space since I'm limited here on my balcony. Coming around here to this raised bed, I have some more petunias growing over the sides, and then I have a cantaloupe plant here honeydew here. So the one in the front I started indoors. It didn't look too great at first, so I did sow some seeds directly. I'll let both of these grow. I will say I'll cut the one that isn't the strongest, but honestly I'll probably just move the one that I don't want in this raised bed to another grow bag because I can't ever get rid of any plants. I also put some random sweet peas, extra ones that I had in here. Not entirely sure what my plan is, but as they start to grow, I'll just trail them down the beds as well. Down here, even more grow bags, and all 6 of these are actually more melon plants. So I have another cantaloupe and honeydew here, and then these 4 are all watermelon. I was most excited for the watermelon. They're a smaller variety of watermelon, and I didn't want to have anything happen, so I figure if I grow 4 plants, I should at least be able to get 1 watermelon, fingers crossed. In the back here, on the left, I have a dahlia plant. I started from a bulb in the bag. On the right is a sunflower plant that I started from seed outside. And then back behind are my sweet peas that are going to grow up this trellis. Moving along to the final raised bed, this is where I'm growing my snap peas, and as you can tell, or maybe you can't, I didn't plan well enough for a trellising system for the peas, so I kind of just threw things together as they continued to grow. So it's basically held in place with a lot of twine and random things I found around the house, but so far everything's upright and that's all I can ask for. And the pea pods are just starting to form. Behind the snap peas are even more sweet peas with 2 more trellises to grow up. And I actually just installed a drip system, which I'm very excited about. I need to order a few more pieces just to continue to run it along the entire garden, but I'm very glad to have that in place so that we can travel this summer and I don't have to worry about the garden. Over here is a lemon tree, which I wasn't sure if it was going to survive, but it is putting on some new leafy growth and some blossoms, so hopefully it's gonna make it. These 2 bags are more sunflowers because, again, I can't get rid of plants, so if I have one that's sprouted, I'll find a place for it. Back here is another sunflower, another dahlia, and then more sweet peas behind it. So basically, on this wall, I'm kind of repeating what I have. So dahlia, sunflower, sweet peas along the back, sunflower, dahlia. The last plant here is my grape plant. So it's my first year trying to grow a grape. I impulse bought it from Home Depot, and I'm not sure exactly where this is going to live permanently yet. I've been moving this one around the deck the most. Once obviously it starts to get even larger, I'm going to need to find a place for the vines to grow up. I don't know if it's going to be around this bed. I thought that could be interesting, having the grape plant trailing along the bed, or I might move it back to the walls over here, but we'll see. But anyway, that is the June garden tour. A lot has changed since the beginning of May, and I'm super excited to see how things continue to change as we get further along into the summer. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye.